Hi, I'm Kiri, and this is my first video of the 90-day video challenge. Tonight I'm going to share my story with you, how I came to be in the SFM. So I started my working life fresh out of university, needed to pay the rent desperately, so I got a job at a retail store, earning minimum wage, just to get me through the holidays basically, and just until I could find something better. But I actually really loved it. The only thing I didn't love was the money, so I spoke with the manager, what can I do to earn more money and stay in this industry, and the answer was management training. So I was like, cool, sign me up, let's do this. Within a few months I was assistant manager for that store, and then a few months after that I got my own store and worked my way up to one of the highest stores in the Auckland region. I loved it. It was great. I loved the people, I loved the pressure, I loved the clothes were phenomenal, but what I didn't love was the money side of things. I was putting in 65-hour weeks and just not seeing, enough remuneration to make that worthwhile. So then I moved into finance, selling finance over the phone. Not quite so much pressure, the hours were a lot more reasonable, the money was a lot better, but it was a wee bit boring. So moved into the management ranks there, basically to give myself a bit more challenge. And yeah, worked my way up through there. At one stage I was running 3 teams for them with about 30 people under me. Loved it again, then had a baby and that changed things somewhat. So all of a sudden I just didn't have the time and the energy to pour into my work and furthering my career because I had this little person who needed me more. I did go back to work after I had my first son, and I did kind of make it work. It worked well enough, but once I had my second son it was just too hard. He was quite sick and he needed round-the-clock care. He has a rare condition that affects his heart and his liver and his kidneys. He's now 4 years old and doing really well, but for those first few years he was a full-time job. And I had another baby somewhere along the way, so I have 3 little ones. And it's just recently that I've sort of really started to feel that there's something missing, and I believe it was work. So I looked at going back to work full time. The money would be nice, and I needed something to get my teeth into that was just for me. And pretty much everything that I looked into was going to take me away from the kids for a lot longer than I wanted to be away from them. And it was actually going to cost me money to work. By the time you factor in all the childcare costs involved and the cost of working, because there is a cost to working, the petrol, the parking, the wardrobe, the makeup, the business lunches, it just was a really bad financial move to go back to a traditional job. But I needed something for me. So I started a little business from home making accessories. So I make girls jewellery and tutu skirts, and it's fun and it's relaxing and I love it, and it really doesn't make a lot of money at all, but it was something for me. And suddenly I started to remember that part of me that had kind of been lost in all the kids and the sick baby and the day-to-day struggle of 3 children. And I started to remember how fulfilling working can be and having something that you're really proud of, and how nice it is to have staff that do what they're told, unlike children that never do what they're told. And so I made that decision, somewhere in there, that okay, the craft business wasn't going to make me enough money to make it viable as an income stream, but I needed to keep looking. I needed to find something that was going to give me what I needed to get my brain engaged again, to get my some financial freedom, to give me something for me. And that's when I found the SFM, and it pretty much ticks all the boxes. So I haven't made any money from the SFM yet. I do believe I will. I believe I'll make a lot of money through them. But even now, saying this before I have even made a cent, I have gained an awful lot. So I've put a bit of money in, and I've got an amazing experience out of it. I'm learning every day to do things that I couldn't do before. This morning I installed a landing page on my website. I wouldn't have even been able to tell you what a landing page was 6 weeks ago. So already I feel like I'm getting my money's worth, and this was a really great move. So so that's how I came to be here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I would love feedback on it. Constructive feedback is great. Don't be too nasty, but it's great to know what I can work on. Thank you all, and see you next time.